And now you can see the Backseat Mogul Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour. Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show live here on Rough Edge FM, and as always, we're starting the show worried about John. We played that Slam Alice theme before that's our theme for the show, and John shakes his head like he's having a seizure or something, but we watch him carefully, and so far he's still upright. Are you a little dizzy?
No. What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I am R. Scott Bolton. I got JohnyD sitting right here. I got Jeff Genet sitting right there. And we're going to talk about movies and stuff today. And we wanted to start with Robert Redford because we didn't really get a chance to discuss Mr. Redford last week, who passed away at the age of 89, I believe.
Yeah.
89. So, they throw away the words legend and icon around too much these days. But I think that Robert Redford certainly qualified as a true legend. Not only did the man create some of the best films, the most enjoyable films and some of the best films in the world, but he worked outside of the industry to make things better for the world too. And that just made him special. And his chemistry and friendship with Paul Newman was also, again, using that word, but it applies here, legendary. And a friend of mine once told me, and Jeff, this doesn't apply to you as much as it does to John and I, especially John, but you're getting old when your heroes start to die. And many of my heroes have passed away, unfortunately, and Robert Redford was surely one of them. What would you say your favorite Robert Redford film is, Jeff?
I am looking.
Okay, Johnny, what about you? We'll go back to Jeff. And it's hard because there's, 100?
A lot.
It is hard. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah, that's the one everybody brings up,
Yeah.
and deservedly
And,
so.
what was the one where the theme was the entertainer?
The Sting.
The Sting and the Sting 2. Then they do.
I don't know that he was in The Sting too.
But everything I've seen him in, he did a World War II movie that involved a military prison.
Yes, I remember that.
And for life of me, I can't remember.
Something Castle.
Yeah, and it wasn't a POW camp prison. It was a military.
The Last Castle.
And that was very, very good in that. I think I can only remember one time where his character he played was a bad guy. Everything that I can remember seeing him in, he's always played a good guy. The Horse Whisperer. I think in his movie he did with Jane Fonda. He was a fantastic. He
was a bad guy in The Horse Whisperer?
No. The only thing I remember seeing him a bad guy in was one of the Marvel movies.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yes.
The first thing that I remember seeing him.
What about Indecent Proposal? Not a good guy in that.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, okay. The first thing I can remember seeing him in, I believe, was a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, that came up a lot because he played Death.
Yeah,
and
he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Was that the one with the old guy who's selling the toys and he makes the deal with Death, or was that a different one?
That's a different one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Redford's episode was it? Let's
involved
find out.
an old lady. in a downstairs, or you might say a sub-basement type apartment.
Uh-huh.
He played a gentle version of Death himself in the 1962 episode Nothing in the Dark. In this episode, he guides an elderly woman named Wanda, played by Gladys Cooper, who is terrified of dying. The performance has gained renewed bittersweet attention following the recent passing of the actor in real life. So it was Nothing in the Dark, and yeah, that's right. He was like a gentle pathway to death for her because she was terrified of it, which kind of reminds me of Stephen King's The Shining and Dr. Sleep.
I was 10 years old when that aired.
No, you were like 32.
Okay.
Is that starting to ring a bell, Jeff, or you have not seen that episode?
I feel like I've seen that episode. What season was that part of? Like season
1962, whatever season that was. Yeah, I don't know.
There, season 3.
There it is, season 3.
I feel like I've seen that one.
Original air date January 5th, 1962. So that's interesting that 63 years later, that's one of the things that Robert Redford is most remembered for. I would say that my two favorite Robert Redford films are the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, mainly because of the chemistry between those two guys was perfect. This doesn't get better than that. And that screenplay by William Goldman, he won the Oscar for it, and deservedly so. He at that point, I think he was the first screenplay writer to earn $1 million for a film. And I don't know, was that film or was after that film? Probably after, because that gave him a big boost. But William Goldman was an amazing writer. He did The Princess Bride and that, and a couple of what's the Dustin Hoffman and Sir Laurence Olivier movie, Marathon Man. Oh,
that was so good.
Yeah, William Goldman was an amazing screenwriter, and that helped a lot too. That was so good. I remember this is an old man story if there ever was one. The night that they had the Oscars for that year, and William Goldman won the Oscar for the screenplay for that. He went walking up on stage, and he was already in his probably 50s at that point, and he had this long, scraggly blonde hair that went down halfway down his back. It was the style then, that's what it was. And I'll never forget my mom going, "Some men just shouldn't wear their hair long." And I'm going,
she told me that many times.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, it's William Goldman. You let him do whatever he wants. I didn't think that then because I'd read some of his books, but I didn't know him well enough. But that's what made me start reading his books. And his books are amazing too. So anyway, that the Butch Cassidy for sure. And then Ordinary People. It's like we were talking about Paul Thomas Anderson movies. There are movies that you watch, they're great movies, but you don't ever need to see them again. They're great, but they're grim and they're dark, and sometimes they're mean-spirited. Ordinary People broke my heart. And Mary Tyler Moore, just outstanding. Donald Sutherland, who didn't even get nominated that year. What are they thinking in that role? And Timothy Hutton, as
their son.
I think it was his first role. And it's just a stunning family drama that it just breaks your heart at what's going on in that movie. And it's directed with such style and genuine feelings that I remember sitting in the theater at the Esplanade Man and just thinking to myself, my God, that's a movie. That was a movie. And it went on to win Best Picture. And I believe he won Best Director that year too, and deservedly so. So those are the two that stick out when I first think of Robert Redford. Did you find some from your list, Jeff?
I went through the list and I can't say that I've seen any movies.
Really?
Yeah.
There's one that
we got to remedy that.
Yeah. I know the guy. I've seen him a bunch. Like I know of some of his movies, like Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah.
I have that one, and then Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but I've never sat down to watch them.
Barefoot in the Park.
Yeah, and then one of his last movies was called All Is Lost, and I think I'm trying to remember if he was 80 when he made this, maybe a little bit younger, 75. But the story's about a man who goes out on a sailing trip, and a sailing trip goes to hell. He's the only person in the movie. You hear other voices from radios and stuff, but he's the only person in the entire film. And at that age, playing such a physical role in such danger in water all the time, and managing to give this amazing performance, I just had a whole new renewed respect for the man. It's incredible. That's another one you might want to put down, All Is Lost, just because it's so interesting that it's just him. And here's one of the reviews, one man show. Redford is the only actor and character in the film. It's stunning. And it's not, again, not a happy movie. Okay, so it was 2013. So that would make Redford about 75, right? Yeah, amazing. Anyway, true talent, true loss to the industry. And, everybody always says there'll never be another one like him. There will be. There'll be people that will fill that void, but there will never be another him. That's for sure. But anyway, going to miss Robert Redford.
That's just like Cary Grant. There'll never be another one. But you look at some of George Clooney's stuff.
Right. That's what I mean. There'll never be another one like him is one thing. There'll never be, because there will be. Like Clooney could have played Arsenic and Old Lace, you know. But will there ever be another him? There won't be. I mean, there'll never be another one of us. In some cases, that's a good thing. But
wait, what?
Anyway, I wanted to bring that up.
Becoming my catchphrase, you know that. Wait, what?
Yeah, we understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first piece of news I wanted to discuss. Also, there's some James Bond news, and apparently they've decided to go with an unknown. They're going to go with a young unknown British actor, and they have made no indication who that was yet. And of course, we wouldn't know because he's unknown. To start the series over again. So, what are your thoughts on that, guys?
I think it's a good idea. I always like it when, they were like, we need a young person. And it's, whenever it's not Timothée Chalamet or Tom Holland or one of the three big young names right now.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it because what happens in 30 years when we don't,
not here.
We don't, those young people are now adults. It's like, I feel like we're going to just have this like bottleneck of shrinking talent, because nobody's taking a chance on these people. So
yeah, that's true.
Yes, I always enjoy seeing a new face.
I can think of a few actors that I would have really liked to see the next James Bond. But with that being said, why not? Let's get some fresh blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
And is it rumored or is it fact that this is supposed to be like a younger James Bond?
Well, obviously, because they're looking for a young, unknown British actor. So they're looking for a young, and I think they kind of have to.
Before he becomes MI5, MI6.
I don't know that far back. I hope not. I don't need James Bond Academy. I really don't need that. But after the last movie, they have to reboot everything.
Yeah.
Because as everybody knows at this point, the only way that Daniel Craig agreed to do that last James Bond movie was if they let James Bond die. Did you not know that?
Nope.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's been a lot of years.
Here we go.
Yeah, been a lot of years.
Guess I don't gotta watch them now.
No, you still do. It's really good.
Wait, what? You haven't seen that
No,
one either?
I haven't seen them. I've seen Casino Royale, and that's it.
Okay, have you seen any of?
Next time, tell me no spoilers, and I'll stop.
Okay,
Have you
that's
seen-
fine. I already knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of First Run?
Well, John, we'll get to that.
First run. I've seen a
We'll
little
get
bit.
to that. Don't jump ahead. Anyway, there was talk about they're just going to replace Bond and start with the same actors. You can't do that. You've got to replace everybody now. You got to start from scratch. So I'm glad that they're getting a young actor. I'm glad they're starting from scratch. This is the way it's got to be done. I still don't have a lot of faith in Amazon, even though I'm okay with Denis doing the direction. He's wanted to do that forever. I mean, they were asking him during Dune if he was going to do Dune 2. And he said, I am, but there's something else I want to do first. And at the time I told Josh, my son, I said, I wonder if he means James Bond. And then Dune 2 was announced, and I thought, I guess it's not James Bond. I didn't know they were waiting for him to finish Dune 2 before they started the James Bond movie. So my faith is not completely gone, but I'm not sure I got a lot of, I still don't have a lot of hope for it. But anyway, we all agree that a new James Bond is a good idea, a new young James Bond, and an unknown. And remember this, I don't know if you even were a part of this, but when Daniel Craig originally got the role, everybody despised him. A blonde James Bond. James Bond.
I was
a guy who played a gay guy in a television show became James Bond.
Did it?
And yeah, And it was the Truman Capote thing. He was great too. But then he became Daniel Craig, the most successful Bond of all. So you don't give up hope until you see the actual product.
He was a great Bond.
He was a great Bond. You know my theory on Bond. They're all the same to me. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a least favorite. They're all products of their era, and they have to be different. So
my favorite is and always will be Sean Connery.
See, you just told yourself always will be. You give you no room for growth.
I said, but my favorite. But I got to put Daniel Craig on that same level.
He was terrific. He really was. I'm not happy with what he insisted on, because in my book you don't do that. But he had more power than I did. I don't know if you guys knew that Daniel Craig had more power than I do.
Did you ever see The Golden Compass?
No.
Daniel Craig was in that.
I am aware.
The one with the polar bear?
Yeah.
Nope, never saw it.
But you remember the polar bear?
Yeah.
See? So there's
I like animals.
Yeah.
I remember that.
There's a lot of controversy about that. I quite enjoyed that movie.
I do remember the controversy about it because it came out when I was like in middle school or elementary school, and there was just a lot of talk about it, but I never got to see it.
Me neither. Honestly, I never had any interest to see it. It's just not my kind of movie, or I guess, or whatever. Do you guys have any news you want to discuss, or anything that's we'll get to reviews here in a second, but because we do have a review of a film that they sent us to review.
Let me take a quick look, see if I saved anything, but I don't think so. I don't think I had anything.
Started watching a couple of different shows on TV.
New shows?
New season.
Oh, okay. So the same ones that you've been watching?
Well, and there is a new show, which I've only seen the first episode.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's called Law and Order Toronto.
Good God. When is Law and Order El Rio coming out?
And obviously it takes place in Toronto, Canada.
Really? I would have never guessed that.
And it's on the CW.
Okay.
There was also
CW.
Yeah. The channel CW.
Isn't it usually on TNT, Law and Order?
Actually it was originally on, I think, NBC.
It was a big network, then it went to a smaller network, and apparently it's gone to an even smaller network.
But I think
because it's a new show, I get that.
Well, Law and Order is still on TV.
Yeah.
It's still on NBC. And because there's Law and Order SUV.
Please don't go through the list. There's way too many Law and Orders.
The original Law and Order, that is still showing. It's one of the longest running episodic TV shows.
Yeah.
And that's still on NBC.
How many episodes of Law and Order have you seen?
I've seen a lot, actually.
Really?
But I don't know from what shows or what seasons. I think SVU is the one. SVU and the original Law and Order are the ones that I've seen the most episodes from. I can't tell you what they were about. I can't tell you anything about them. But my wife is going through all of it right now, SVU.
Because I think that's of the Law and Order. I think SVU is the second longest running. Of the Law and Order.
And there's some episodes that she's watching, and I'm like, oh, I remember this one. You know, my grandparents used to watch it a lot, so like whenever I was over there, they have it on. So
I know it's a hugely popular show, and very, I mean, obviously there's like 19 versions of it now, but I've never seen a single episode, not one.
There for a while there was also Law and Order UK.
Of course there was,
and that
Australia.
was quite good. It was very good, because you see how the English law system works in the courts and all that. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, it would be different because obviously different ways of the way the law works in different areas. That would be kind of intriguing.
And also in Toronto, I believe, or in Canada, I believe their legal system pretty much mimics, or at least follows, how they do the court systems in the UK.
Okay.
And what about that new SUV? No, never mind. I screwed it up. I was going to make a really bad dad joke, and God save me. Thank you. Pierce Brosnan and Lily James have remade Cliffhanger. Apparently it's completed and it's looking for a U.S. distributor. Have you seen Cliffhanger with Stallone?
No. I've seen a lot of movies with cliffhangers, but
yeah,
I haven't seen the Cliffhanger movie.
Actually cliffhanging. They're actually hanging off cliffs. Johnny, I know you've seen it. I know it's one of your favorite movies, if I remember correctly.
was a long time ago. Isn't that the one that
He hangs
besides
off a cliff,
Stallone
yeah.
and Third Rock from the Sun?
Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Yeah.
John Lithgow.
I forgot Lithgow was in that, but if Lithgow's in it, it's worth watching no matter what.
The female lead. Oh God, was that the young lady from Northern?
This one or the one in the original Cliffhanger?
In the original.
Oh, okay.
Northern Exposure. The female lead from Northern.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm looking up something else here. So Stallone was 46 years old when he made Cliffhanger, and Pierce Brosnan made this film last year, so we have to subtract a year here. But let's find out how old Pierce is, because I think it applies here. There we go. Pierce Brosnan, 72.
71.
So I don't know, and I may be dead wrong here, but it's hard for me to picture 71-year-old cliffhangers, because we're talking extreme cliffhanging, climbing.
Let's look that up. What's the oldest cliffhanger?
That's a good idea.
Now,
who is the oldest?
Pierce Brosnan has that TV show that's on one of the streaming networks.
Who's that?
Pierce Brosnan.
He's in a lot of stuff these days, which I'm happy for. I love Pierce Brosnan. There's a guy who was a 70. The oldest one is Yuichiro Miura, who is 70 and 80. So
this is right there. Gary Bloch is believed to be the oldest person to climb
102-year-old
Yosemite's El Capitan.
That's better. That's more accurate. That's closer to what we're talking about. Yeah, so he was 81.
Oh, and then there's the Sherpas over there in the Himalayas.
We're not talking about goats.
Pretty. I didn't say goats.
So anyway, I guess, and plus Brosnan's in really good physical shape. So yeah, he's on that Tom Hardy show.
Yeah.
Which is,
and
some of those Taylor Hackford shows have way too much testosterone for me. That's one of them.
But is it Helen Mirren in that also?
No, that's the movie that he's in with the Tuesday Murder Club or Thursday.
That's
Murder.
right.
Yeah.
I was getting that confused with the Selena Gomez, Martin Short.
Only Murders in the Building.
That one, yeah.
Which he should be in. It'd be a perfect fit. Christoph Waltz is in this season of that show.
Oh, is he? Well, I guess I got to write that down too.
Christoph Waltz. Anyway, so that's some things that Johnny's been watching. We were asked to watch a movie called The Compatriots. The studio sent us a link and asked us to check it out. What are we looking at? Oh, Mobland. Yeah, it was Mobland. I wanted to like Mobland so much because I love Tom Hardy. I love Pierce Brosnan. Everybody in Helen Mirren, good Lord. But like I said, there's so much testosterone in those Taylor Yellowstone.
Oh, sure.
Yes. There's so much. It doesn't feel real to me. It feels off. Anyway, we're talking about The Compatriots, which is, let me tell you a little bit about it here. The story is, according to the press release, the story is a nuanced portrayal of immigration, friendship, and LGBTQIA plus experiences. The Compatriots follows Javi, an undocumented immigrant facing deportation who unexpectedly reunites with his estranged best friend, Hunter, a vivacious bachelor seeking deeper connections. Together, they embark on a heartfelt journey to prevent Javi's expulsion from the only country he has ever called home. The director was Spencer Cohen. It is currently available on View on Demand if you are so interested. And who wants to start talking about The Compatriots?
Go ahead, Jeff. Okay, I'll do it first. I found it to be a very interesting story. I found some of the writing I wasn't too thrilled about. A lot of the direction I was not happy with, and some of the acting I was not happy with.
Give us an example. Who
the actor who played Javi?
He was the lead, basically.
Yeah, the lead. I would say.
Are we allowed spoilers or no spoilers or
delicate spoilers?
Okay.
Let's go delicate spoilers because it's just now on VOD.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to give any of the storylines, but I just felt like a lot of his acting was the actor who played his professor, I thought was cold. The actor who played the professor's significant other, when he's playing the part of the lawyer, it was okay. But when he was in the dance scenes, way flamboyant, over the top. The actor who played Hunter, I thought was pretty good. The two females that were in it, the one who was his ex to current to ex whatever girlfriend, I thought she was good. The actress who turned out to be the one night stand, I thought she was good. And the actor who played the not so nice guy, I thought his acting was terrible. Now, I don't know if it was the acting of these people who I was happy with, or if it was the direction.
Okay.
For me, all in all, it was a good story. I just thought it could have been a whole lot better.
Jeff?
And that's my opinion.
Jeff has that "where do I start" look.
Yeah. I don't think I had anything particularly negative to say about it. I thought it was good for a film of its caliber, like independent film. I thought the writing was okay. There were a few things that happened in the film that seemed kind of like it was stretching almost. Like it was just kind of like, oh, we're jumping to that? Or, well, that's not how that works, that sort of thing. I mean, particularly about like some of the well, never mind, spoilers. Yeah, I didn't have any problems with the acting. I thought the acting was okay from everybody. There were obviously people who did better than others.
Sure.
But overall, it was kind of one of those movies you watch once and you're like, oh, okay. And then that was that. It's just kind of gone after that. But nothing, I don't think I had anything negative to say about some of the, I didn't have any notes that I had to write down that was like, oh, this was stupid, or, oh my gosh, this was amazing. It was just kind of like, yeah, I watched that movie. It was pretty good, yeah.
See, I agree with both of you. I think you both make good points. I think that I understood that it was an independent film, so you give a little leeway for an independent film, because some of the acting and the writing seemed soft to me in places, especially the beginning. When that movie first started, I thought, oh, this is going to be hard to get through because it's very stilted and corny, and it improved. It got better as it went along, which I was very thankful for. And I think what you're saying is right too, that some of the actors had difficulty because of the screenplay, because of the direction. I could almost feel that a little bit, but again, it's an independent film. You give them a little bit of leeway. I thought the story was great. I wish that it had been told tighter. Like you were saying, that seems like it was stretched, tighter and more detailed, because there was a lot to say in that film and it didn't get to say it all. It felt loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it felt like we were just kind of, okay, here's what we're doing now. And then it felt like there wasn't a lot of exploration with everything. It was just kind of like, here it is. This is the only solution. And then, yeah.
And I think, and I also agree with you with Hunter. I think Hunter was my favorite character in the movie, but he got the best lines. He was able to deliver the jokes and the lines and to do what he did from the heart. He portrayed that very well too. So I think he was my favorite character and probably performance in the movie as well. So, I mean, would I recommend it? I wouldn't recommend buying it for $19.99, but if you can rent it for $3.99 or $4.99 or something, then give it a shot, especially if you're interested in that topic, because it does tell a very modern tale, very modern tale. That's the other thing, is that the costume budget was actually obviously on the actors. I got a feeling that there was no costume budget. What just show up in what you're wearing, and that worked. But especially when the Ice Agents show up, it's like, really? They're in blue T-shirts? Okay. But overall, there's nothing offensive about the film whatsoever. There's nothing, like you said, to write home about either. It just tells its story. I wish it had told it tighter, and I wish it had explored a little bit more, because the story itself is a good one, and I think it could be rewritten and tightened and been a better film overall. But still, I'm not recommending it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. There is one thing, but I will wait until we're off air, because it would be a spoiler that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And it has to do with
when the kid gets killed at the end.
Well, it's not so much that he got killed. It's the way that bear came in. Oh, I'm sorry. That was another movie.
Those aren't real spoilers.
It was a mix.
There was a bear in the movie. That's true.
It was a mix between a Ted bear and a vicious polar grizzly black brown bear.
The hell kind of bear is that? Like from Prophecy?
A bad bear.
Yeah, I need to be. Yeah.
Do you like that? A Ted bear?
Yeah, I like that. I have no idea what it meant, but I'm
bear
trying to move on.
The movie Ted?
I know. All right. So, what else did you guys see this week? Johnny, go ahead. You can start again.
Well, I'm going to wait for you about the movie that we saw.
Well, then I'll start.
Okay.
We really should go see The Conjuring, because I spent all that time watching the previous movie so I could see this one in theaters. Haven't seen it yet. Jeff recommends it. Not 100%, but close.
Yeah.
And we will get to theaters and see that. Maybe Monday. Maybe we'll go see Conjuring on Monday, even though I really want to see the DiCaprio too.
I'd rather see that one first.
I know, but see, then we're never going to see The Conjuring. I'll figure it out.
Streaming.
I'm not going to wait. I spent hours watching all these movies so I could see that in theaters. I'm not going to wait.
You had to go through a lot of terrible movies to get to this point.
I did. So, but we did go see Spinal Tap 2.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with This Is Spinal Tap, which was a movie from 1984. It was about a heavy metal band. And this is at the point where heavy metal was still pretty hot. And they were a British heavy metal band who had was going on tour again, and their adventures on the road. And here's another one, legendary film, because it was all ad-libbed. There was no screenplay involved. Rob Reiner was the director, and he and his cast, and I won't go through their names right now, but trust me, they're all terrific. Playing Spinal Tap, those guys were masters of that ad-lib. Mm-hmm. They said things, and if you watch the film a couple times, you watch the other actors instead of the actors who are saying the lines, they're just cracking up in the back. They're just having so much fun that they're losing character. And it went on, didn't do great at the box office. It did great with critics. I think it was 98% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, but it didn't do great at the box office. But then it got this kind of life that followed it, from DVD sales, when they had DVD sales, from cable, and from soundtrack sales. The band became, and they actually toured as Spinal Tap. I've seen them twice live, and those shows were fun too. They were comedic performances as much as they were, more than they were rock concerts. The last time I saw them was the Greek Theater, and the lights go down. The announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Spinal Tap brought to you by," and this box of Depends diapers comes down. Depends. That kind of stuff they're doing. And they did. So now the sequel's out, and it's all these years later, 41 years later, I think they said, which makes sense. And
it actually is 41 years later.
And I've been terrified, because I've been watching the trailers and I'm thinking, it doesn't look as funny as the first one, and don't blow this legacy. You've got this thing that you've built over these years. Don't blow the legacy. So I was a little nervous going into the theater. Within 5 minutes, I knew I was going to be okay. And at the end of it all, if This Is Spinal Tap is a 5 out of 5, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, is a 4 out of 5. The difference is age. They're much older now. Obviously, it's been how long? 41 years? Good Lord.
41 years.
So they play off of the age thing a whole lot. Like, for example, their promoters trying to say, you need to move more like Taylor Swift. And they're looking at like, we're not going to move like Taylor Swift. And And they're dealing with their relationships after all this. They're first of all, they're retired from rock and roll, and they're getting back together for one last show. And so the humor is there, and the humor is very funny. There's less of it this time, but there's more heart. This is more about the characters and how they get along, and you can really feel that difference. And there's a couple of times I almost teared up, which is stupid. They're a made-up band. They're like the Monkees, but still, you know these characters. You love these characters, and you see what's happening, and it gets to you. I really enjoyed it. Elton John does a great couple of. It's more than a cameo. It's an extended cameo, and Paul McCartney does some ad-libbing, which they said before. With Rob Reiner, he said that Paul McCartney is a great ad-libber, and I thought, he's a Beatle? How can he be a good ad-libber? He's great. He nails it. And other things about it, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it in the theater, and I'm waiting for it to come out in Blu-ray, and I'll buy the soundtrack. And I think the same thing's going to repeat itself, because the movie is tanking badly at theaters. It cost $25 million to make, and it's barely grossed $2 million. So it's hurting. But first one did kind of the same thing. And then this sweep afterwards of all the merchandising and everything made up the difference. So maybe that'll happen here as well.
Yeah, the first one definitely has cult status.
Oh, no question.
And I feel confident that the second one will.
I think so too. But here's the thing. You really have to see the first one before you see the second one, because you won't understand the second one if you don't.
Exactly.
Because they're two parts of the same story. And if you don't see the first one and know what's going on, you're not going to, half the jokes in the second one are plays on the first one. So you got to really see the first one.
I was really hoping that they would have had done us one more.
But they didn't want to repeat anything. They got close to repeating it,
yeah,
but they didn't repeat it. So that's, anyway, it was terrific. The best experience that day, though, at the theater was when I walked up to get my tickets, and they had the Jaws 50th anniversary shark cage popcorn bucket on clearance for $5.
Oh, there you go.
I said, thank you very much. Made my purchase. Now I have two Jaws buckets, the pail that's based on the sign, and the one in the cage, the shark's in the cage. That's the best part. It's got Quint's line on top embossed in the metal. Cage goes in the water, shark's in the water, our shark. It's embossed in the top. It's so cool. I'm a geek. Can't help it. So anyway, what else did you see?
I really did enjoy Spinal Tap too. And like Scotty said, if you haven't seen the first one, you have to, just to understand what is going on.
And see, that's another thing I think about the box office, because heavy metal is not what it was in 1984. So that movie did better because that was the music that was popular. Now it's Taylor Swift and Katy Perry and all these people, and metal's kind of on the downside. So again, that's why people aren't going. Another reason people aren't going to the theater.
I think that one of the best things about it, 41 years later, the four main actors reprised their roles, from the interviewer to
Rob Reiner,
who he's doing this mockumentary or rockumentary, whatever you want to call it, to the three surviving members of the band Spinal Tap. And here's an interesting side note. They're from the UK, Spinal Tap. None of those actors are English.
Oh,
They're
no?
all American, but I tell you,
it's Christopher Guest, friend. She's in it. Harry Shearer and Michael McKean. Yes, they're
the guy who played Lenny on Laverne and Shirley. Remember Lenny and Squiggy? Yeah, okay. Anyway. God.
You know what? You haven't seen half the stuff he has.
That's true. That's
so
true.
You gotta always remember that. So, did you see anything else?
I watched the first episode, which I think I mentioned earlier, of movie wise. No, I started watching. What was that movie I started watching? And then I realized, I got to watch Compatriots.
If you just started watching it, finish watching it and tell us next week.
I will. I can't remember what it is. But
Also next week,
wait, what, where, when?
They Call Me Macho Woman.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be our review for next week.
But I did mention I watched the first episode of the new Law and Order Toronto, because there's only one episode out. And I watched the next episode of the TV series of season 2 of High Potential, which I really enjoyed that.
High Potential is a fun show.
It's
a lot like
ABC.
Monk was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's very much. And the second season of Wild Cards, which also is filmed up in Canada.
Is that a game show?
No, no, it's about a police detective who gets partnered up with a con woman, and part of her keeping her out of prison is she works with the police department.
So it's white collar.
In a sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
And White Collar was very good.
Yes, it was. Let's not get off on that tangent.
No, I won't. But Wild Cards, yeah, I recommend it. Like I said, this is season 2, and don't ask me the name of the 2 main characters. I can't think of it. But Jason Priestley plays the young lady's father, who is in prison, and one of her deals with the police department is to help get time shaved off his sentence. So that's one of the reasons she's helping the police department.
It's getting warm in here, isn't it?
No, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, but you're cold.
Well, yeah.
Did anybody watch An Alien Earth?
That was the only other thing I watched this week, other than the Compatriots.
Did you finish it?
I am 3 episodes in.
Okay, we'll discuss after we finish it.
Did you finish it?
I did. Yeah. Last episode was this week. So
yeah, that's
we'll
why
discuss.
I started it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, you did the same thing we did. We wait till because we'll tend to wait until everything drops. We can watch as many episodes as you want each night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
I did see a couple movies this week. I also watched a lot of Star Trek. I've been watching Picard season 3, which I'll just briefly say is freaking great. I realized about 2/3 through season 3, I told my wife, I said, I know why I like this so much. She said, why? I said, because it's Star Trek porn. They throw so much in from the old series and all the old ships and things make an appearance. It's like, it just warms my heart. And I can't watch it when she's in the room normally because I get so into it. I'm pumping my fist. I'm going, yeah. And so I might be a little geeky, but anyway, I watch a lot of that. I also watched a couple of movies. I watched Death of a Unicorn, which you said you've seen or not seen.
No, it's on my list.
Okay. I won't tell you much about that, except that I enjoyed it. My wife, not so much.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I watched that. And where is my movie list, folks? I just had it, I swear.
Yeah, I recently HBO cracked down on their password sharing thing, so I no longer have access to HBO.
Oh, yeah, they're all doing that now. They're getting tight.
Yeah.
Netflix did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand it because that's their money.
Mm-hmm.
But then I calculate how much money they make.
Yeah.
You know, come on, guys.
Yeah, it's like $24 for Netflix for a month. It's like, no, I'm just going to buy DVDs.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I literally told myself that once when I was looking at all the streaming prices. It's like, I have probably close to 1,300 DVDs. And of those 1,300, there's probably 500 I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I paying streaming services? Especially when you can go to the thrift store and get them for 75 cents or 50 cents sometimes. Anyway, I also watched a movie called Black Bag. Now, Black Bag is a spy thriller. You wore a t-shirt by the same team just recently. The people who did Presents did Black Bag. And it's a spy thriller with Michael Fassbender and Kate Blanchett.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what the relationship between David Koepp, who's one of the best screenwriters in the business, and Steven Soderbergh, who's one of the best directors in the business. But I like what they're doing. I really loved Presence, and I really love Black Bag. And as I said, it's a spy thriller, but it's this low key. It's almost a mystery more than a spy thriller, because Fassbender and Blanchett are husband and wife. They're both agents, and the wife is accused of treason. So they don't tell her, of course. They tell him, and he has to investigate whether or not his wife is involved in treason. And right there, you've got an interesting story. Here's a spy who's spying on his wife, who he knows probably can't be a spy, but his job is to investigate her. And what if she is a spy? What does he do then? So that makes it all very interesting. It's this real super tight, it's only 91 minutes long, spy mysteries that just flows perfectly because of the cast and because the writing is, I keep using the word tight, but I can't think of a better word for a screenplay than tight. Screenplay should be tight. And this one is just like tied with a knot. And Soderbergh keeps the direction sharp, and it's just really good spy adventure. Now, a lot of people don't like it because I think they went in expecting James Bond. It ain't James Bond. It's a mystery story. And, but I highly recommend it. And it takes 90 minutes to watch. So you're in and out and you're satisfied when it's all over. I don't know if they're doing anything else together, but I hope they work together forever.
You said
I want to say something was announced.
I hope so.
You said 91 minutes. Do you think there might be a trend starting of movies coming back that are less than 100 minutes long?
No. You know what, though? I said that too soon, but maybe only because they got to shrink those budgets. And that's one way of shrinking a budget, is to make a movie that's 45 minutes shorter. So maybe. In this case, it's different because those movies are cheap anyway.
I did read an article recently, more like an opinion thing, but Denis Villeneuve said that a lot of the longer formatted films that are like 3 hours, like Dune 2, Oppenheimer, those are making big box office numbers.
That's true.
And they're especially drawing younger crowds to them. So there's this like thing going on where like people want to make longer films because they think that's might be attracting younger audiences or whatever. Like, people want films that, if you're going to go pay for it, you want that experience, you want that time and detail put into it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dune 2, like, that was probably the best film that came out.
It was
that
stunning.
year,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that's a good point. I think that my fear, though, is that studios tend to play the copycat game too often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of a sudden shark movies are popular, so everybody's making a shark movie. And the better example, everybody's zombie movies are popular, everybody's making zombie movies. And that was the mistake I think they made, and people disagree with me, I realize that. But when the Batman movies were a huge success, DC said, well, we have to make a dark Superman movie. No, you don't. That's not the character. That's the wrong way to do Superman. The way that James Gunn did it, that's the way you do Superman. And I think that, you know, they want dark. Not necessarily they want what fits the character. And I'm afraid that copycat thing, they're going to make long movies just to make long movies that don't deserve.
Yeah.
And Dune, definitely, you need that time for Dune.
I agree with that, but I think, like, if somebody wants to make a longer movie, that the studio shouldn't pressure them to make it shorter. If you know,
they've already approved
that
it.
Time. Yeah.
I agree. I agree completely. Yeah. I don't think studios should go in and mess with films afterwards anyway. And not many people have Final Cut. I mean, who's got Final Cut still? Spielberg?
Does Tarantino have Final Cut?
Tarantino's got Final Cut, even though he says he doesn't, but you know he does.
Yeah.
And there's one other one. Who's doing Christopher Nolan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Final Cut. So
Did Lynch have Final Cut?
I don't think so. Lynch always had to have his producers go to bat with him because the studio would see what he was doing and go, what the hell? And the producer would say, it's David Lynch, wait for the finished result. And, you know, I haven't seen Mulholland Drive since it was in theaters. And now I realize, according to what I've been reading, it's considered like one of the top 10 greatest movies of all time. I need to see it again.
What about, I wonder if Hitchcock had Final Cut.
I imagine Hitchcock did, but it was a different era.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I have noticed, and I can't think of any of the directors who have done it, but some of the movies that I've been seeing in the last 5 to 10 years, you can see the Hitchcock influence big time.
That's absolutely. I mean, that guy broke so many. Every time I see a Hitchcock movie that I don't have at a thrift store, I buy it, just because I want to study it. Jamaica Inn. What year was Jamaica Inn? Have you guys heard of Jamaica Inn?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
I want to tell you about the opening, 1939. So it's almost 90 years old, right? the opening sequence of Jamaica Inn, and the only problem with these movies is that they're hard to watch because the images aren't crisp and clear usually, and the dialogue's muffled because of the sound recording techniques. But at the opening of Jamaica Inn, there's this slow zoom into an inn, zooming slowly towards the front door. And as it does it, this piece of like a Kleenex, it's not a Kleenex because it takes place in the 1800s, but it's blowing down the street. And so you see this Kleenex or whatever it is, this tissue blowing down the street in the wind. Well, it blows and it turns into that driveway, into the door leading to the doorway, and the camera follows it up. And I'm going, who thought of that in 1939? Alfred Hitchcock did. That's what he did. And it immediately takes you in the story. It literally walks you through the front door of the story. It's freaking brilliant.
If we do the movie on Monday, I've got a collection of Alfred Hitchcock. It's a movie collection. I think it's 20 movies.
Send me the list because I probably have them all.
Well, I have it on here, but I don't have the names of the movies.
Okay, yeah, but send me the name of the list of the movies because if there's some on there I haven't seen, I want to see everything Hitchcock did. Anyway, that's all I saw. So what about you, Jeff?
I just saw Alien Earth and Compatriots. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I was rather busy this week.
Were you doing this? And now it's time for the First Run Progress Report with filmmaker Jeff Genet.
And what a wonderful segue that was. Yes, I was editing a bit of First Run. I'm still waiting to hear back from people. But I'm going through the film and I'm doing the small details, all the special mapping that I got to do. Hey, I don't like this thing here. I don't like this. Let's get a shot from another clip and put it over there. There's a shadow over here from someone who's standing behind. Let's clip that out. Or, hey, I got to go frame by frame and map around this person that's moving. Those little details, and then just fine tuning those cuts to make it look nice. This weekend, because I've had Pat's camera just sitting on my desk for a while, I do have a couple of insert shots that I need to do, popcorn popping and a soda cup filling up to put it towards the end of the film. Just a few little things to help flesh out certain things, B-roll shots or whatever. So I will be shooting this week. I found a popcorn machine at my work, so I'm going to go pick that up and then plug it in my garage and just.
I was wondering where we're going to shoot those at.
Yeah. Because I mean, I could go back, but I feel like it's been a really long time, and I'd be like, oh, can I come in for like 15 minutes? I don't want to do that. I
gotcha.
I'd just rather like sneak into a fast food joint, use their soda machine real quick, and then do the popcorn machine. So.
And it's close up, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's in the soda business. Oh, I thought that was an X17 machine. That's an X18. Something's fishy here.
That's true. Yeah.
I know where you might be able to do the soda machine. Some of these gas stations have the little markets in there. They have the self-serve soda machines.
Oh yeah.
You could probably go in there and say, hey, do you mind if I
Yeah, I mean, all it will take was like a couple of seconds. The thing that I'm thinking of is like, man, we're gonna have to go. I'm no stranger to running into some place, getting a shot really quick, and then getting out.
There's a term for that.
It's guerrilla filmmaking. Like not like the ape, but like the type of warfare, guerrilla warfare. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Got a lot of visits from police officers doing that. But the thing is like, do I want it to be kind of handheld shaky, or do I want it to be on a tripod? Do we run it with the tripod, put down real quick, hit record for 10 seconds and then run out? Like, how do I want it? That's what I'm figuring out. So my daughter's going to be helping me out with that.
What kind of camera are you using?
It is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K camera.
Don't we know somebody in this building that has a Steadicam that might work?
Yeah, but you don't want to carry all that into for an
I don't want
insert
to carry
shot.
all that.
Oh, okay.
And if it's the one with the weights and everything, that one's I don't enjoy that one. I ended up donating the one that we bought for the film to Buena Film class. So
how is that? I mean, their film festivals next year now, right?
Yeah, usually in May, I think, towards the end of the school year.
There was some other news I want to report on, but it has since
But,
moved on, so I don't have it here. So you didn't really see anything. You had any plans to see anything this week?
I did. I have plans to see the Gabby's Dollhouse movie with my daughter, because she's a big fan of Gabby Cat.
That's fun.
I want to see that one with Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. I don't know what that one's called.
Chick flick.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure that that's a chick flick as much as it is.
just an emotional.
As much
piece.
as I'm not a big fan of chick flicks, yeah, it's Margot Robbie. I will watch that movie.
I want to see that a
Big-
big, bold, beautiful journey. That's what it is. And then I want to see the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, but something or other.
Battle
Yeah.
After Battle or something like
That
that.
yeah, whatever that is.
I'm intrigued by that movie as well. And I don't remember if we talked about this on air or off air, but when I first saw the trailer, I thought, and then at the end of the trailer, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, it's like, oh, so it'll be good. It may not be happy, but it'll be good. But then I've read the reviews and they say, you have to put this in perspective, folks. They say it's his most lighthearted film yet. That's Paul Thomas Anderson,
yeah.
lighthearted. There's a difference because as we discussed that, and then There Will Be Blood is it's just a great, great movie. Not the kind of movie you ever want to watch twice. It's just not happy, but just because a movie is a downer doesn't mean it's not a great movie. And the one that I always think about is a Jack Nicholson movie called The Pledge. And I walked out of that movie just stunned at how horrible it was. Not horrible in a bad way, but horrible because it was so dark. But it was a great movie, but God, it was depressing. And so there's movies like that. There are people that don't like movies because they're depressing, and I get that, but at the same time, don't just throw it away like it's trash, because it's not.
I thought that when I saw Full Metal Jacket for the first time, which was at the Old Man Theater, which became the Regency,
Which is now a casino.
Exactly. Full Metal Jacket. When we walked out, you could almost hear a pin drop. Not very many people were saying anything because it's about Vietnam and a lot of the atrocities that happened on both sides.
It's a grim movie.
It was
too.
a grim movie. And I think a lot of people, I used to work for a guy who was a Vietnam vet who saw the movie, and he said that movie captured a lot of what actually happened, especially from basic all the way into in country. So it was grim.
You know what's interesting about Kubrick? A couple things. First of all, I don't think I've ever liked a Kubrick movie the first time I've sat through it. Not once I can remember. I walk out of the theater going, I'm not sure I like that. But then either I see it again or I think about it and I go, oh, now even Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut, me and the rest of the audience literally laughed out loud at it at several points. But afterwards you're like, oh, I kind of get it now. It does have that. It meant something, that's so Kubrick to me is somebody you have to absorb. And Full Metal Jacket, I walked out of the screen and going, nah, I didn't like it. Afterwards, like, oh, now I get it. It sinks in. He's always been that way. I also know that, and this just reeks of Kubrick to me. There's always been controversy about his ratios. Because if you look at the box sets that they release them in, most of them are the 4:3 ratio. And I'm always thinking, why don't they release them in the big widescreen? Because he didn't make movies in widescreen. He didn't like the widescreen format. He liked the shorter format. But it wasn't always 4:3. He would play with ratios and and he would actually send letters to projectionists. This ratio is this. Make sure you pay attention for this scene because it's dark. And, he had exactly how he knew all in his head how it should be projected and how it should be done properly. And my point is, you'll never see, as far as, unless you're at maybe Tarantino's theater, a Kubrick movie in its correct ratio, because they were all almost trick ratios. They weren't the standard ratios. And I just read a whole article about this and it blew my mind because I thought he shot 4.4x3, but he didn't. He shot 4.3.1 or something. It's crazy, but that's just the way he did things. And then he would literally send letters to the theaters. This is what you need to do for that. And I thought that's just, what kind of madman was he? What kind of mad artist was he to be playing with that kind of stuff?
Yes.
One of a kind. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to mention to the folks at Cinemark. Now, you worked at a theater more recently than any of us have.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there are sensors along the digital prints that tell them when the house lights go on and when the house lights go off. Am I wrong about that? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's all timed. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the Spinal Tap movie, the house lights came on. I didn't know it was the end of the movie. So
Mhm.
I'm like, why are the house lights on? And all of a sudden I realized that the movie's over. Well, I'm looking at the lights instead of looking at the movie. Really pissed me off because it broke the flow for me for that final scene, which is an important scene. And I thought, okay, they got to fix that timing because that timing is wrong. Those house lights should come on, yes, when the credits start, but not while the image is still on screen. The problem is how much image was after that.
Yeah, a lot.
It was about 10 minutes of footage still. They should have let the 10 minutes run and then turn the lights on because it was very distracting. I mean, to the point that it broke the flow of watching the movie for me.
Yeah. Credits, if I remember correctly, credits were rolling as the scenes are still going
That's
on.
right.
And
That's exactly right.
They were important scenes.
And it wouldn't have mattered if the lights hadn't come on. I would have followed it. But the lights came on and it threw me off.
Yeah, a lot of the times, because I think this happened recently, regardless of whether, usually for the Marvel movies, they'll stay off through the credits.
Right.
But for like any other film, lights come on as soon as the credits start rolling. It doesn't matter if there's a scene after or what. It just comes on. So it's part of their timer. And I don't think there's any light switches in there. I think that might be like in the projector room, but like at Regency, they were on a timer, and if we needed to, if everybody was out of there, we could just flip a switch and we could start cleaning and stuff. But
it bothered me though, because this was too early.
Yeah,
and I know every film is individual, and this one probably caught them off guard, but it was disturbing that the light came on, and there was still, I exaggerated when I said 10 minutes, but easily 5 minutes more of the movie going that just credits happened to be going over. Mm-hmm. They should have left them off until those scenes stop, because then it goes to black and the timer. Yeah,
they probably just get a note that says, okay, this is when the credit starts, and then they put that in the timer or whatever. Or maybe they were off with their timer because I've asked multiple times, hey, when do the trailers stop? And they're like, oh, give or take like this much time. It's like they don't have that time exactly. So does that factor into their timing? Does like
that's true. I hadn't thought about
mess
that.
It up. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, because the only first run theater I ever worked at was down in San Diego, and they had all timers and everything was fine. Yeah. So, but they didn't have the light switches or whatever.
And I do understand that this is a one-off. Most movies don't do this to you. They don't have actual scenes going on behind the credits. I mean, they move them aside so they're, the credits are. This is right over the credits, and it just bothered me. And I wanted to go out and say, hey, if you need to fix that, because that's disturbing at the wrong point in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you should. Yeah,
I should have said something, but I'm chicken. So, we got anything else this week, folks? We got They Call Me Macho Woman. We're gonna talk about next week. It's a movie that I found that looks absolutely ridiculous. So it'll be part of Is It As Bad As They Say It Is? Why don't we look at the Rotten Tomatoes rating for it and see what it says?
Did we talk about the filming going on at the Ventura?
We did not. Go ahead.
Was before we started the show?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I've seen a thing around that they're going to be shooting part of the David Fincher.
Yes.
Once Upon a Time sequel series for Netflix at the Ventura Fairgrounds, and they're looking for actors. I don't know where you looked that up. I think it was Central Casting or something like that. Hey, Venturans. Is that what we call people who live in Venturans? Venturans. Go take a look at that if you want to be in a movie. I might sign up for that. That sounds cool.
There's something you have to take in consideration, though.
Yeah, I know.
You got to shave off the beard.
Yeah.
They want you clean cut or a mustache only.
I've only ever shaved this fully once. And I told my friends, I'm like, if I ever do that again, that was at my lowest point. And I was like, if I ever do that again, you guys need to get me some help. I did it for a video of all things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyways,
I shaved my beard off when I got a job. I was working for the television producer for 17 years, I think.
Mhm.
And then he died and I was unemployed for almost 2 years.
Mhm.
And it was getting desperate time. And my buddy offered me a job with the pest control company.
Mhm.
And I took it and he says, yeah, you got to shave off the beard. And the reasoning was that that they told you it was in the, it was because the masks that you have to wear,
oh yeah, they can't.
they don't seal properly
Yeah.
with a beard on there. I was working in the office.
Mhm.
Shouldn't have mattered, but
Yeah.
that's what the company wanted, so they got it. And we cut my beard off live on the Friday Shot Day show,
Mhm.
and I'm glad we weren't on video then because that's when I discovered that I have jowls. I don't ever want to shave that again. So as soon as I retired from the pest control, back to the beard.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to be part of the Friday Shot Day show, and one of our founding members, Keith, when he retired from the Navy, he just let his hair grow. He says he's not going to cut it for 10 years.
Mhm.
And when he finally did decide to cut it, we cut it on air. I mean, Doug cut it.
Yep.
Mm.
Cut it live in the air and we put it in a baggie and it's still around here somewhere. That's disgusting.
And
So
also, I remember when I cut,
yeah, nobody
my
asked you
hair-
to do that.
and there's a baggie around here, at least there used to be, of my hair. Now, the last time that I completely shaved my face, because
1914.
yeah, something like that. I totally forgot what I looked like. And then I realized, oh, that's why I grew it.
There's reasons that beards exist. It's true.
Yeah.
So as I said, next week they call me Macho Woman. It has 1 review on Rotten Tomatoes, so there's not even an aggregate for it. The storyline is, and I love the storyline, chased by drug thugs, a career woman turns savage with farm tools, kung fu, and cut off jeans.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. And here's the 1 review. They call me Macho Woman is mostly clunky, with Donahue visibly struggling to generate screen danger, but in a B-movie way. There's fun to be had with the effort, which certainly tries to put on a violent show for viewers. I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in. So we'll be watching that next week. And we can't do as bad as they say it is because it's not even, there's only 1 review on RottenTomatoes.com, but we'll decide on our own.
We haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't. So it's time.
I remembered the movie that I started watching, and then I realized, oh, I got to watch that other movie. I never saw Fargo, the movie. And the reason why I started watching it last night was because it's getting ready to leave Tubi.
Oh,
so I
didn't know movies left Tubi. I thought they kept them forever, but I just don't know.
There's a whole list of movies and TV shows that are leaving soon,
really
that are on Tubi. So I'm going, oh, I got to watch this one.
Fargo?
Yeah, I've seen it. I liked it.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I know you're iffy on the Coens.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week.
I think so too. Yeah.
And that's probably one reason why when I'm going through the list, it caught my eye because we had talked about it.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
So far, I've got up to the part where
Spoilers.
spoiler. Well, yeah, Fargo's been out for how long now?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Where he finds out
30 years.
Where William H. Macy's character finds out his father-in-law and his partner only want to give him a finder's fee for finding them a potential money-making deal, which he originally wanted them to loan him the money so he could do this. And that's the part I'm up to.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I really like that movie a lot. It's at the end with the chipper. That's all I need to know.
Oh, yeah.
I have a true story that's kind of similar to that. It's not similar at all, but it made me think about it because he was a car salesman, William H. Macy in that movie. And the scene where she comes to interview him and he runs, he's running. I love that line. But anyway, a friend of mine worked for a local car dealer. I'm not going to use any names or anything like that. A friend of mine worked at a local car dealer, and his boss told him that they had a car that was like $100,000, $75,000 car on the lot. And he told him, go sell that car. And their commission was like, it was a huge commission. I don't remember the number, but it was a big fat commission. And he went out and he sold the car. And he came back and the boss was all happy and everything. Well, then he gets his commission check for that. And the commission check was less than his percentage. And he went to the boss and said, why is this less than my percentage? It says that I got $5,000, which is what he got. when it should be, I don't know, $12,000 or something like that. And his boss said, because there's a cap. There's a cap at a certain point. If you sell a car that's worth this much money, then you don't only get 5,000. 5,000 is the cap. He's like, well, show me where that's in the contract. It's not in the contract.
Mhm.
So he ended up leaving that company and going to war with them legally. And he got his money. They weren't very happy about it, but he got his money. But that's just chicken shit.
It is.
Chicken poop is what I meant to say. This is a family show, but it still works because that's what it was. Yeah, that's why would you do that to somebody?
Mm.
You know, especially when you send him go sell that car thinking that he can't, and then he does.
Yeah.
That's not worth telling the story. I don't know. I brought it up.
Yeah,
All right, so next week they call me Macho Woman and whatever else. Maybe The Conjuring. I want to go see that desperately.
Or the
And we'll probably go see that too. I'll go see The Conjuring with Josh. I've been trying to
Leonardo
get Josh to
DiCaprio.
go.
Yo, what's the first thing you saw Leonardo DiCaprio in?
Jaws Revenge.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know.
Oh, was he the kid in the water?
Yeah.
These guys. The only thing I can remember is What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
That was his big
And
break too.
He was fantastic in it. It was a Johnny Depp movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio. He was great.
I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard that. I know it was a big breakthrough. That was the movie that pushed him through. And then, of course, hooking up with Scorsese doesn't hurt either. So, yeah.
And then he was a short kid. Look how tall he is now.
Lifts.
Oh, okay.
Also, never mind. I won't say that.
Something else. I've seen other actors, or I have heard about other actors who have injured themselves doing a scene, but instead of stopping, they just continued the scene, like he did with
Django.
Django Unchained. I mean,
God, I love that scene so much.
I did not-
especially once you find out it is real.
yeah. And then when he smeared that blood all over her, that was his real blood. But I've heard John Wayne did a lot of the movies that he did, that he was in a lot of pain, but he still, for the sake of the film, he did not do a cut.
Yeah, it was the drugs.
Yeah, well, could have been. Which can I have some? Oh, sorry, family show.
Don't say that in the show.
Well, it's
Yeah,
it's
I got some-
Tylenol. Isn't
I got some in the-
Tylenol a drug?
Yeah. It's over there right next to the bag of hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's it.
No, that's hair, not heroin.
Yeah, don't talk too soon.
What?
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, next week it's they call me Macho Woman.
And as I always like to say, go to the local movie theaters, especially if it's a mom and pop theater.
Just go to the movies. We need you at the theaters.
Support the arts.
Support the motion picture art. All
Or
right.
buy a DVD because we need those back too.
That's true. I actually read an article that there was and I don't know if the guy was just wishing or whatever, but he said that there seems to be a return surge of physical media, because all of a sudden people are going, wait a minute, I can't watch that. Like if I had the DVD or the Blu-ray, I could watch that. And I'm not saying it's gonna prevent the extinction, because I don't know that it will, but maybe it will. You know, look at cassettes.
So, we saw records come back.
Yeah.
And
All there is at Target now.
LPs, yeah.
and I understand vinyl outsells CDs now. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've read.
A question I wanted to ask you both earlier.
The cheetah is the fastest land animal.
Oh, that was it.
All right,
And the
moving on.
reticulated python is the longest snake in the world.
Do you know what
I like that better.
you know what the fastest bird is?
Thunderbird.
Peregrine falcon.
Peregrine falcon.
That was
That
close.
thing can dive at over 200 miles. an
Okay,
hour.
John, what were you going to say?
The Sonata. Did you watch it yet? It's the movie that
Oh, the Sonata. Yes, thank you. I'm going, what the hell is he talking about? I was thinking Ensenada. I don't know why.
or the car.
No, I have not watched it yet.
You've
It's
been
That's a movie.
when I get a
with Rutger
chance.
Hauer.
Yes.
Did you
Have
watch
you
it?
seen it?
No, he has the DVD.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't.
I gave it back.
Oh,
Did
you
you,
have
bring
the
it for
DVD.
him?
Well, no, actually, I forgot to bring it.
I've already rented out like 6 DVDs from him, sitting on my desk.
Do you have a card?
A card?
A John Buster video card?
No, I didn't get one.
Have you watched Arsenic and Oblation yet?
No, the only movies I watched were Compatriots, and then I saw Alien Earth, and then I
Okay.
was editing the
Well,
rest of the week.
That's fine.
I was
Do you
editing
think
so
you'll-
many things this week.
Do you think you'll finish Alien Earth this week? So we can.
I
Talk
think
about
so.
it
Yeah.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm-
I'm gonna push through it for this week because I'm interested. But like I said, like the beginning of this week, I was just editing a lot. I was editing first run, other stuff, and other stuff, and other stuff.
because first run premiere is October 1st. Are you gonna be ready?
Oh, what? Oh,
Surprise!
let me call the director real quick.
What service is Alien Earth on?
Hulu,
Hulu.
and by proxy, Disney Plus.
You know,
When are they going to merge those two?
I don't know. They keep saying, I don't know when they're doing that.
They keep saying it's already merged, but I can't find it. I watch
Yeah.
Disney Plus or I watch Hulu.
Yeah.
I can remember when Hulu first started and it was free. It was like
Then they got smart.
Yeah, it was like back in the day, the guy who was peddling certain things that are illegal would give it to you for free. And
Lemonade on the
got
corner.
hooked.
They still do that, John. It's called a free trial.
Yeah, and then once you get hooked, oh
Yeah. They learned the lesson quicker than the newspapers did, because remember when the internet first started and all the newspapers couldn't wait to get an online presence, but they didn't charge you for it. And they started losing money because why are you giving away your stuff for free? You have to pay for it. You have to pay reporters. You got to pay print. I guess not newspaper print people, but you got to pay internet people to set up the web pages and what have you. And yeah, they screwed a lot of them out of their business completely because should have started charging, should have had the free trial, but then should have started charging right away. I mean, who's sitting here has a newspaper subscription on their phone? Anybody?
Nope.
See, that's it.
See, I don't do that. When I click an article, doesn't matter what it's about. If I want to read it, it's like, oh, click. Okay, I read the first 3 sentences. And it's like, oh, you got to pay to read the rest. Sorry, I guess I'm not going to find out about this.
That's exactly what.
And then I go to the comments, and then the paragraph person tells me about it.
Yeah,
like, great. Cool. Now I don't need to read it.
That's true. Another thing that bothers me, and I don't know how we get on these things, is how journalism has changed. Because when I took journalism class, yes, I took a journalism class. You started your story with the big punch. This happened, and then you explained it all down to the bottom. Now it's the exact opposite.
Oh yeah.
Now they give you the history of the automobile engine, and then when you get to the end, they tell you why that bird's in South America. It's just bizarre how it's completely changed. The main point is now at the bottom because they want you on that page as long as they can keep you on that page. That's what the advertisers pay for.
What I hate is, you see the title page or what the article is about. Oh yeah, I got to read this. And you're 3/4 of the way through it before you find out what
that's exactly
it's actually about.
That's exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like recipes too. I want to find out how to make this carbonara or whatever, and it's just like you click it and it's like back in 1973 my grandmother used to, like, I don't care about this. I got to scroll through 6 paragraphs of this just to get to, all right, milk, I gotta get a cheese, and I gotta get the pot. Okay, great, that's what I want. How long for? Cool, great.
That's exactly the truth,
Yeah.
man. It really
Then they
is.
start talking about that event they do over in Europe where they roll the cheese roll down the hill and people are chasing it. I don't want to know about that. I want to know what kind of cheese I got to use for this recipe.
Never heard of that. I kind of want to know about that.
It's a true thing.
I'm okay with chasing cheese.
Okay, you remember that scene in?
I feel like I do that already.
There's a scene in Spinal Tap 2 where they show those people running down the hill and they're chasing a thing of cheese.
And it's an actual clip. It's not made up for the movie. It's an actual
really?
clip
Okay.
of the event. So
I don't know what it's called. I don't know where they do it.
Cheese
at.
chasing.
I used to know.
The cheese run.
cheese run.
That could be. But you see these people, they're tripping over everybody and getting up running. And one guy finally does get down to the bottom first. I don't know if he beat them.
And see, that's one little piece I'll give him Spinal Tap. Then we'll get Spinal Tap 2, and then we'll get out of here. Is they talk to the guitarist, and they ask him,
Was he Nigel?
Yeah, I think so. He retired, and now he owns a cheese store.
Yeah.
And they ask him, what made you go from rock and roll to cheese?
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not. And he goes, well, it's the natural progression, isn't it? Rock and roll, cheese. And the interviewer's all, no, that's not a natural progression.
But it's not just a cheese store; it's a cheese and guitar
That's
store.
true.
Okay, I gotta say the Spinal.
Quick,
Or,
we're giving away too much
spoiler.
already. Go see Spinal Tap 2.
You bring a guitar in, I'll trade it for cheese, or I'll trade a guitar for the cheese you bring in.
And he does it by weight. This guitar is about 8 pounds, so here's 8 pounds of cheese.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
It's ludicrous.
okay.
It
It's
is.
absolutely
and
ludicrous.
that's Christopher Guest's
Yes.
character. It is funny.
Good stuff. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. I promise we're bailing off this time. Watch, here's the proof.
Wait, hold on.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.